بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. In previous discussions, we have seen how this surah is trying to really solve a very important issue. And we last discussion we came to the conclusion that the first step in change is really to question the current or prevailing conditions, what we refer to as the status quo. That sometimes people, with the passage of time, they may think that because things have been done the same way over and over again, they become acceptable and they don't question them anymore. Quran, in the process of making a change, is really through the Prophet Mohammad is questioning and asking Muhammad to question really that status, especially the structure of the society. Okay, that there should be a group of elites or these rich people who really are better than others, need to be in the leadership, and there should be other classes. Okay, to the point that even slaves become acceptable class, if you like, or portion of that society. Quran is saying this is not acceptable, and you need to question that structure itself. Okay, and Quran will bring it in the form of not talking about a person in himself or herself, but through the actions or the ills that had afflicted these groups and the society. Okay, and Quran will emphasize over and over again the problem of istighna, this fake feeling of self-sufficiency, that I don't need really the others. Okay, I can do things on my own. Okay, and if anything, the others are really like in my service. Okay, so the Quran is really like أما من استغنى. He's telling the Prophet Muhammad, فأنت له تصدى وما عليك ألا يزكى. But there is another group that represented, if you like, by the al-a'ma. These people who know that they are in this darkness and they need the light, they need the guidance, and they are really after that guidance. They are coming to you. وَأَمَّا مَنْ جَاءَكَ يَسْعَى وَهُوَ يَخْشَى فَأَنْتَ عَنْهُ تَلَهَّى. Who the Prophet should really focus on those who really have the insight of the problem that they are facing, and they know that Muhammad has the cure or the light to bring them from their darkness. But the others who are afflicted by this disease of istighna, they are not after the truth. You see, they are not coming to be enlightened by the Prophet ﷺ. But they may find in the message of the Prophet or in his project something to lean on, so that it will really continue to benefit their own interest. Okay, they are not interested really in, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is not your concern. You're not. It's nice to be keen about really like bringing the message to the people, But your job is only to remind. كَلَّا إِنَّهَا تَذْكِرَةٌ. This is the job of the Prophet. This is the role of the Prophet. Not to force, okay, not to coerce, but really only to remind people. And he is not reminding them with something from him, but he is bringing something that is independent of him. Although he is going to personify this, he will be the first to realize and actualize the revelation. But the revelation is not Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are not one. They are not identical. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be the best, if you like, actualizer of the revelation, but he is not the revelation. And this is why I say, كَلَّا إِنَّهَا تَذْكِرَةٌ فَمَنْ شَاءَ ذَكَرَ. Only those who are willing. They are after the truth. They are really going to benefit from this reminder. These are the people who will basically come and ask for it. And they will be truly reminded. It's like I see it the way when we deal with our patients. This is what we tell them. These medications work only if you take them. But there is no way that I can force anybody to take these medications. So Muhammad ﷺ said, I'm bringing the message as a reminder, not really to force you to take it. فَمَنْ شَاءَ ذَكَرَ فِي صُحُفٍ مُكَرَّمَةٍ. And this is very important, because now Muhammad ﷺ is really in the final stage of prophecy. There will be no prophet after Muhammad ﷺ. So this revelation should stay intact for all the generations who come afterwards, so that they still, the revelation will continue to be a reference for them, the reference to remind them and provide them with the answers and the solutions for the challenges that they are going really to face in their life. So they have to, yes?
I just wanted to say one thing, like, I was reading this surah, and we've been discussing this for the last 3 weeks, and actually it's a wonderful surah. But one thing I didn't notice, like, even though it's talking about a person, but it's really, I don't see the feeling that it's talking to just Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's talking to everybody. I think that's the thing, is like, I think, when we try to say that this is just addressed to Prophet Muhammad, I think we're minimizing the whole point behind the surah. It's really addressing the humanity and everybody who reads the Quran.
Exactly. Very good. In fact, I was telling the brother Naji the other day that the linguistics, they reached a very interesting conclusion from their own observations, in literature and text and everything. They noticed when you are talking in the first person or the second person, it's more about the person. It's more subjective. You are about the same person, you, I, or you. But notice that the surah starts in the third person. Abasa wa tawalla. He frowned. When you talk in the third person, the emphasis is not only on the subject, on the person who did this thing. The emphasis on the experience itself.
You don't even see the subject. You don't see even who.
It's not mentioned.
Is there Abasa?
Not Abasa Muhammad even. He.
And even the he is not there. It's just the action, what's happening.
So the emphasis is really on the experience, as you are saying, that can affect anybody. And so it liberates itself from And this is why we took a really different approach from the past. Because in the past, the emphasis has been as if it is Muhammad, and as if Muhammad ﷺ did something that is against the acceptable conduct and ethical conduct. And Muhammad ﷺ, from day one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. So this is out of question. This is not the issue. It's not the issue of ethics here. The issue of policy. In what direction, okay, this message will be going? Who would be really the target? Who will be, where it should be really the emphasis? What are really the concept, the ideas? What is the worldview that needs to be changed in order? We said the first step is really to question. The second step is really to show that the problem is really in the worldview. Unless you change that worldview, that person will continue to be afflicted by the self-sufficiency. Okay? The worldview of that person coming after the truth, that was the driving force to come to you and ask for guidance. Unless, again, the prevailing ideas, how we order things start to change, we will not see the change in reality. But you need for that change, that reference that will be all the time with you, helping you, facilitating, paving the path before you to answer the questions and to respond to the challenges. So you see that there is not only remind what? No, there is a reminder, but it will be also preserved and documented في صحف. You see, so and Muhammad ﷺ became keen from the beginning to raise around him people who are able to write, to read and write. He will be spotting talents around him. Because, I mean, the number of people who really are literate is not big in that environment. So it became, so you see the challenge? There is a big challenge before the Prophet ﷺ, and became conscious about it. That this should be really preserved and conserved, okay, in order to stay with humanity forever. And we are living this. I mean, with the test of time, Quran has been preserved, okay, not only but in the chest of people who know it, but also documented in books, in a corpus. You see? So it's في صحف مكرمة مرفوعة مطهرة. And you can see, I want really you and myself to see these beautiful adjectives that will tell us at the same time who is going, how the process of reminding and remembering will be easier. Who is going to remember? Who is going to take the advantage of the reminder? If I approach Quran with arrogance, it will not give to me. If I approach Quran with just like for mental gymnastics, it will not really give its treasures to me. So في صحف مكرمة, dignified, exalted, مرفوعة, مطهرة, purified. You see, لا يمسه إلا المطهرون. You need this level of tathir. not only the physical, which is always emphasized, and I have no problem with that, but what is really more this internal purification that will enable us to see Quran and to see its treasures. And in fact, then we will see Quran as a source of, as really a reminder. It will have the expected effect on us. So it's a very beautiful approach to see what are the characteristics of Quran itself, and then we have to ask ourselves how we can actualize this in us in order to see and to touch Quran. You see what I mean? Otherwise, there will be this gap. The same way how istighna, this feeling of self-sufficiency, this disease, will be an obstacle. Do you expect somebody who he's telling you, I don't need anything. If you read Quran all day on him, for him, will not make any difference. So you need something. سأصرف. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, سأصرف عن آياتي الذين يتكبرون في الأرض بغير الحق. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not let them see His signs, those who really approach them in an arrogant way, who behave arrogantly on earth. So istighna, self-sufficiency, kibr or arrogance become really obstacles. They will not, but if you bring someone who is after the truth, after the light, Quran is generous, will give more than you will expect. بأيدي سفرة. You see, بأيدي. So there will be people who will be writing Quran. So it's not, you see, it's very beautiful. I think it's the first allusion that Quran will be written down.
I think it was also. This is very interesting because it was written down at that time.
Yeah.
Because Quran describing
Exactly.
people, they are writing the Quran. So the idea of al-istishraq, this Orientalism, they said the Quran was just written in Al-Madinah. This is totally proof against that. It's already recorded there.
Yes. Yeah, the same way, because again, we need really, because Quran is the best mirror to reflect what was happening. This is the text. It is the text of that appeared in that era. So is there something better than Quran to reflect that era? I mean, just from a historical criticism approach. What would, if I am a historian, I want to know about that era, what would be the best? I mean, there's nothing comes to the level of Quran in reflecting that era. So when Quran said later on about Quran, في رق منشور, رق is paper. So later on, archaeologists found out that the papyrus paper was there in Arabia.
At that time.
At the time. And Quran is saying it, في رق منشور. You know what is manshur? Published. We say today a publishing place is Dar Nashr.
Sure, I think the meaning is also constitution. You know, there is and constitution means there are policies which are intact in one place.
Exactly, exactly. So it's not like in the air, okay, and people will not know. No, there is something that you can refer to, okay, the reference. So it is written, and because later on, written on the bones and I mean, that doesn't make really a lot of sense. I mean, in terms of, but Quran is a better reflection. And بأيدي سفرة, in the hands of righteous people.
It's really very beautiful, the surah. We were talking about, Brother Walid coming home, we were talking about the names the Quran has. For example, one of the names is Al-Wahy. And Al-Wahy also is good because when you have that name, it means, as we talk about the way to say, if you are, alim, scholar, if you like, you have that ability to teach other or to make from people scholars when you have your students. Why? Because you have that skill, you have that attributes, you have that name, you represent that name. So when you are Al-Wahy, so Al-Wahy is not guidance, because Al-Hidayah is guidance. Quran also is guidance. But Wahy and Hidayah, they are not the same. Al-Wahy is that to inspire someone to see new things, to extract what they need as new, meaning that can help them or guide them. So this Al-Wahy, if you like, it's really before the guidance itself. So Al-Wahy has that meaning. So because Al-Quran is Wahy, also it always has that ability to inspire us that we can get what we need as meaning for our time. But because it is Al-Wahy also, he inspires any era. He is able to inspire any era. So the Quran is covering that, the era of the Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The era of Muhammad, we are still in the era of Muhammad, but the time when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was alive, and nowadays too. The Quran uses a lot of metaphor. And there, as we said, there is A'ma and there is Istaghna. The Quran doesn't give names. Even if, but the narration and the level of abstraction at that time, people will need names. Otherwise, they don't understand the meaning. It may happen the Quran is covering, that society needs also. You people, they can also see some tangible example. They can see some A'ma, some other people, Istaghna, and they will try to find who is this? Istaghna is this Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira or someone else, and the other one maybe Ibn Maktoum. Anyway, they look for names just to see the meaning. But for Al-Quran is really metaphoric. Is that Quran does not record names. You don't see names. So for us, we need also to be aware of that ability or that attribute of Wahy. So that can inspire us to get what we need so we can be efficient in our society to introduce the message and also to be efficient while trying to help ourselves and help others to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if I take it in the very metaphoric way, you see A'ma and Al-A'ma. It's even defined. You see the Al is the blindness, if you like. But Al-A'ma, and let's relate this to Al-Wahy and to the guidance, to the prophecy itself. So the prophets, alayhim salam, they are there to help humankind to have the meaning and the guidance that can help them to continue their journey while moving to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the prophecy this is the role of the prophecy through history. So, but Al-A'ma, what's Al-A'ma? It's really the environment when the guidance, the ability to move is totally gone. But this is the blind. You are not able really to see it. But also, it's also the environment that Al-A'ma is the most, if you like, interested person and the most aware person what the guidance means. why you need it. Because the need also is tangible. The need for guidance is something really you are able to touch. Istaghna is another environment. Istaghna, first of all, there is a loss of meaning. And the meaning was used, for instance, to accumulate things. And now, as you have that feeling, you have all what you need. So you don't need anything else. You don't need others. More than that, the guidance itself may become the enemy. Because the guidance, it means it may reflect in you that you need the other. Maybe also you need to give others. So they become, even not only they are not interested, but a certain extreme they become against. It's the environment. They will fight anyone who brings the guidance, who brings the light. They have a lot of interest to keep the society blind. But more than that, when this is after a very long time, it becomes the norm. It becomes now the reference. So if you have something and you come to a society or a tribe or a village or a city, you will look for these people. وجهاء القوم. You know? You don't look for the interested people to the message. You will look for who represents that city. But really doesn't mean when someone who represents that city, they are the interested. They are the right environment. You can, as Brother Walid said at the beginning, you can go and lobby. But all these lobbyists and all these people doesn't mean they are interested in your message. Maybe they are interested to get more from you and to share with you what they have to keep the darkness. But if you are really interested to spread the message and bring the light in the life of people so they can continue their journey, they can move freely, you need to look for the right environment. Here the society is not going to provide for you that right environment. Because this is how people behave. عبس وتولى أن جاءه الأعمى. This is how usually people, they are not interested to someone who cannot move and who cannot give, if you like. It's for them, it's not the right place. The Quran here is changing the reference. When it says kalla, from now on is not the society that will be the reference to know what's good and bad, but is the revelation. Is the system, this new revelation that will become the reference. كلا إنها تذكرة لمن شاء فمن شاء ذكره في صحف مكرمة مرفوعة مطهرة. So it's also the attributes here, because it also reflects the project. So it's mean you are reminding people, but also suhuf also is purified and exalted. So the message here also is to remind, to exalt, to purify people. And this is why the environment فمن جاءك يسعى فأما من جاءك يسعى before that لا تتذكر
وما
لا وما عليك إلا أن عبس وتولى أن جاءه الأعمى وما يدريك لعله يزكى. So this is very compatible. So this is the message really يزكى. You need to question always. This is what will help you. The question also is this environment is going to, to be interested in zakah and to purify and elevate, and also let tazakki itself be free choice. Because before, as you are imposing tazakki on someone who istaghna, that feel that self-independence, they feel there is no need for anything. They'll try to say, hey, try it. Tazakki is good. Add it to your,
armamentarium.
This thing you accumulate. Tazakki is not really accumulation. You cannot accumulate tazakki. Tazakki is quality. You can build on you. You become tazakki. Is that type of elevation. You are now able to free yourself from worldly things, and now the worldly things, you guide them. You are the imam for them. So you are no longer interested to the accumulation, ألهاكم التكاثر وحتى زرتم المقابر, but you are in فصل لربك وانحر, as we said. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر. The whole universe was created to serve us as human beings, so we can serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we can prostrate on the front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes.